Zohran Mamdani became mayor-elect of New York City. His victory just isn't a political win, it's a profound moment of hope for the American Muslim community and for America as well.
That's where, you feel that fire in your belly that you're like, I've got to do something. I got to do something that is going to change this narrative, that is actually going to do good for the people.
You're listening to Wise Women with Daisy Khan, where faith rolls up its sleeves as a force for good and where women define the future with wisdom and wonder. I'm Daisy Khan, author, speaker, and a Muslim woman who spent her life wrestling with a messy, miraculous collision of faith and real life. And kindly subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Welcome to Wise Women with Daisy Khan. Friends, yesterday, November 4th, 2025, we witnessed a historic moment. Zohran Mamdani became mayor-elect of New York City. His victory just isn't a political win, it's a profound moment of hope for the American Muslim community and for America as well. So I've invited a former mayor to discuss what this win actually means and to have a conversation about other things. So my guest today is Farrah Khan. She served as Irvine's County City Council in 2028 and then made history in 2020 when she became mayor of Irvine. She was so good, she was reelected to a second term in 2022. She currently lives in California, in Irvine, and is the mother of 2 sons. So I want to welcome you, Mayor Farrah Khan.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Okay, great. So yesterday, as you've witnessed, Zohran Mamdani made history by becoming the mayor of New York City, and also Ghazala Hashmi became a lieutenant governor of Virginia. And I believe she is the first Muslim woman elected to a statewide office. Right?
Yes, so excited.
It's very exciting, yeah. But both wins, as you know, are very significant. But today I'd like to focus on Mamdani because you've been a former mayor, and he is going to be the mayor of the largest city in the world, I would say. And he's made it very clear in his campaign what motivated him to serve. So I'd like to ask you, since you began your career in biotech and innovation industry, and then you pivoted your career, what was the driving force that made you do that and say, I need to do this job?
I think it has a lot to do with, many of us do a lot behind the scenes, right? And we're comfortable in those roles, whether it's making phone calls or canvassing, any of those things. But I think for me, it was really that pain that you feel when you see elected officials who don't even understand government, that don't understand their role as representatives of the people. And in Irvine, we have had a history of catering policies for the same 10 people who have that luxury and that time to show up and speak out at city council meetings. And it's entitled people telling you that because of who you are and what your name is, that you're unelectable. That was told to me. And
not you, not here, not now, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's where, you feel that fire in your belly that you're like, I've got to do something. I got to do something that is going to change this narrative, that is actually going to do good for the people. And I think that's really what it's all about.
Yeah. So you decided that you had to do the job because you found a gap in some things that somebody else wasn't addressing.
Oh, absolutely. And, for us, we have to understand our history, that, throughout the lifespan of America, nothing has been handed to us. It's always been fought for. So if you want change, you've got to step up and fight for it.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I think Mamdani was doing, and that's why we see these headlines all over the world. First Muslim mayor. Well, let me just shatter that that thing, because you have shattered your own glass ceiling because you were the first Muslim woman of color to lead a large city in the United States.
That's
and
right.
also received the highest number of votes for the position of mayor. So, what strikes you about Mamdani and the way he won? Because to me, he didn't win by appealing to a single base. He won by building a broad coalition, a multiracial, interfaith coalition. And I know you've been in the trenches, so please tell us, what was it like for you to create these coalitions, and what does that tell us about what's happening to America and in the cities?
Yeah, I think, anyone that thinks that they can win a political campaign or an election based off a single group, I don't think that they're getting it right, because there's no city, I think, in America where you can possibly do that. You have to build those coalitions, and those coalitions are built on platforms, and they're not just built on your personality. And so I think what's really, really important is, coalition building isn't new, but it's more of a what are people thinking at the time? So when you look at Mamdani and in New York, what's different is that the working class itself has become the political force, right?
Yeah.
People of all ethnicities, backgrounds, etc., are facing the same economic pressures. And by addressing their problems, what's happening is you're building that coalition inherently. And so it's very natural for people to align themselves with things that they are facing. And so that coalition building happened in New York based off of a community that felt like, they were neglected. And that platform, that force is defying the status quo. And I think that's something that's unique and very important to understand.
Yeah. I feel like he went beyond, identity politics in this one with the
Absolutely.
broad coalition that you see, even some of the, wealthy people are endorsing him because they want to see a change. So it's not like, it's just a socioeconomic class. It's many, many people for many, many reasons. So let's go to the
Absolutely.
next question. Let's kind of like the road ahead. As someone with experience in maintaining fiscal stability, combating climate change, because you've done incredible work and protecting the health and the wellness of Irvine's diverse communities, what do you think is going to be his most pressing governance challenge? I mean, he is running one of the largest cities with an enormous budget. Is it going to be housing, security, and what will test him in his first year? So, can you just give us some idea of what his job is going to be like?
I think his most pressing challenge will come from both the establishment Democrats and the Republicans, who are going to work to cut off and block him at every turn. We're already hearing some of the mumblings that are going on. And the test will be if he can continue to progress regardless of the pushback. And it's important for people to understand that we're putting a lot of pressure on him, right, as one person, as a mayor. But he cannot accomplish all these goals by himself. And it's going to be important for us that have the same energy that we had in the campaign to continue that same energy as he's pushing for these goals, to be there by his side, to push those that are the decision makers, right? So, like, for example, when you look at free public transportation, and this is something that I started in Irvine, we currently have free shuttles in our city for our public. But in New York, the buses, the subways are run by the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, right?
Mhm.
The state-controlled agency. And the governor of New York appoints board members to MTA. And so now we are looking at, are those MTA members going to be friendly towards Mamdani's goals, right? Are they going to work with him? And then is the city council that is going to approve his budget changes, are they going to be friendly towards his budget recommendations, or are they going to fight him? And
Mhm.
so I think that's what we're going to look forward to in this first year. And that's where the public's input is critical. Like, be there, speak up, speak out, call these people out that are working against him and making his job difficult, because we need that same energy for the long haul.
So does he need the governor and the speaker of the city council, like 2, 3 people that he's working with all the time?
It's going to need a coalition of people, absolutely,
Yeah.
because different people are governing different things, and it's getting them on board.
Mhm.
That's going to be important because we do want him to succeed.
We do want him to succeed, and it's a very tough job. It's considered to be one of the toughest jobs in the world.
Absolutely,
That's what I
absolutely.
so a 34-year-old at the helm of the toughest job in the
He
world.
can do it. He's got this.
Yeah, he's got the gumption, as they say. So, my last and final question, because we're trying to keep this conversation short. If you could give him some advice, one crucial piece of advice on whether he should be working on security, fighting anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, which he has voiced in the same breath, which is amazing to hear from a politician, unifying people or simply surviving the job, what would it be?
Gosh, it's I would say continue on the path that he's paved, keeping the people of New York close and involved. The struggle is real, understand who your allies are.
Mm,
And the Islamophobia that Mamdani faced during the campaign is not going to end with him being in office. That's going to continue, and it's going to come in different forms. And I know that because I've gone through it, right? But the most important advice that I would give him is to know who you are and why you ran in the first place,
mhm,
and to keep that at the forefront of everything that you're doing, and rely on those people, the voters and the public that supported you, to support you throughout your efforts. I think that's going to be key. So I wish him the best. And, his speech really brought everyone together. And I thought it was very powerful. And I know that, he's going to have some good people around him. And we wish nothing but the best for him.
yeah, yeah. So he needs to hire well, correct?
Yes,
He needs to be
absolutely.
surrounded by people who have years and years of experience, or people who bring that, who take his ideas and implement his ideas,
Yeah,
right? Or his vision. And
absolutely.
if I were advising him, that he needs to go on a radio program every week, to speak to, a journalist about, ask the mayor kind of a question. And that way he can address where the pushback is coming from to mobilize his base.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
And I
know?
think a lot of our community members, especially because I know during this campaign, as many as were excited about him, there was some pushback as well, right?
Mm, yeah.
And it comes to them kind of differentiating themselves. This is from what I heard, is the working class.
Mm,
And they're like, oh yeah, I'm not a part of the working class. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe we need to be educated on what the working class actually is. So whether you're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, if you're working for someone, you are part of the working class.
mm.
So why wouldn't you want these same goals, these same achievements that benefit everyone? And I think a lot of our voters, our community members need to be educated.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. This is true. A lot of people don't know what all these buzzwords actually mean.
Right.
So I want to thank you, Farrah Khan, for illuminating us. I know the conversation has been really short, and but perhaps maybe we'll come back and do a little bit deep dive after the first of the year, when he's actually becomes the mayor and starts on the job. And I want to thank you very much. And listeners, let's all stay blessed. Thank you, Farrah Khan.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on Wise Women. If something stirred in you today, don't let it stop here. Share this episode with someone who needs it. Reflect on what resonated for you, and definitely plant one seed of change, however small. Remember, you do matter, and your actions have a ripple effect. But none of us can rise alone. To explore more resources and ways to get involved, do visit my website, daisycon.com. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review, because every click is your way of amplifying this message to others. Wisdom isn't just heard, my friends, it's lived. So let's live it. Until next time, stay wise and stay rooted.